Heavy Door Horror Podcast.
Rated R. Under 17, not admitted without parent.
All right. This is the Heavy Door Horror Podcast. My name is Heavy Door Dan, Ganja Zombie, the original Babylon John, the radioactive one, formerly known as Claymation Caligula. Coming to you on September 30th, 2025, from my palatial suburban estate here in the tropical city of Union in the free-thinking state of California. On this podcast, we review and discuss horror movies from the cult and B-movie subgenres of horror, specifically focusing on trashy films from the late 70s and 80s, and who knows, we may even cover a movie from the early 90s here and there. And this week's movie is 1975's Race with the Devil. And before we get into the movie, let's go around the room, the padded room for our safety, and introduce the regulators. Starting with, let's start at the top as we always do.
Eddie!
Gentlemen, good. Been getting my ass worked at work, but you know what? I wouldn't be doing it if I wasn't getting paid well. So there's that. Other than that, I'm glad to be here. It was nice to take a break, but we're back, so let's do it.
Yeah, we're back. Sure. Okay, man. Let's move it on.
Hey, Eric. How you doing, Eric?
Eric, how's it going, man?
What's up, y'all? Doing well?
Yep.
Ready to dive into this flick.
Now, Kim Hem, what do you have to say for yourself?
Man, you on the road. What's happening, man?
Hey, how you guys doing, everyone? Thanks for joining us. Kim Hem.
Yes, sir. All right. Kim Him is coming to you live from his car, somewhere in the East Bay. Okay, so 1975's Race of the Devil. So let's start out with some statistics. IMDb gave this a 6.6 out of 10. That's about 8,000 ratings. 8,000 people felt it was necessary to weigh in on this film. Rotten Tomatoes gives it a 71% question mark. But that was only 14 reviews at the time. It was only 14 professional movie critics, because back then they only allowed the pros. So it was 14 reviews at 71%. And then at 2,500 reviews, the audience gave it 56% Rotten Tomatoes, which I think is just barely fresh, I think. I have to double check that. Metacritic gives us a 53 out of 100. It's a lot of mixed reviews there. And then the users of Metacritic gave this a 6.8 out of 10. Generally favorable. And so let's see. One thing I did look up for this movie was, I think I might start doing this every week. I believe roughly around the week that this movie came out was the same time that Jaws came out. So think about this. So Race with the Devil was in the movie theater around the time that Jaws was in the movie theater. Rocky Horror Picture Show was in the movie theater. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest was in the movie theater. Dog Day Afternoon and 3 Days of the Commodore. So it was a pretty
Wow, that's heavy hitters right there.
Big hit
Yeah.
summer for horror movies. Or excuse me, for movies in general. Let's see. As far as tagline goes, Peter Fonda. Let's see. So we got Peter Fonda and Warren Oates are burning their bridges and a lot of rubber on the deadliest stretch in the country.
I don't know if they're right there to the road and all that, but you know, I mean, it's a good tagline though. It's funny.
It's a mouthful. Let's see. There's
Yeah.
they unwitnessed.
That's what she said.
Let's see. The next one is they witnessed an unspeakable act. It may cost them their lives. And then there's also witness an unspeakable act. I guess it's kind of a statement. And then there was God help you when the devil wants you, which I think
Yeah,
right there.
that's good. I mean, but after seeing the movie, you know, yeah.
If you're going to race with the devil, you got to be fast as hell.
No, I like that one.
Venturing to say that the tagline might be better than anyway. So let's see. In France, it was Course contre l'enfer. Okay, and yeah, these aren't going to get any easier, but I'm going to give you the German. Wir im Rasendame Sarg. Okay. And basically, that's translation is 4 in the raging coffin. That's the number 4 in the raging coffin. And then in Portuguese, it was Corrida con o Diabo. In Italian, it was In Corsa con il Diavolo. And let's see, in Czechoslovakia, it was Zavod's Dablem. And I'm going to go and close this door.
Oh, you got to get better shoes, man. You know, dog keep barking.
In Chinese, it was like these characters that I can't pronounce. But it was translated.
Yeah.
It was translated as the Devil's Chase or Pursuit by the Devil.
Oh, that's it. That's a good title, actually. The
Not too
Devil's
bad.
Chase, Devil's
Okay.
Pursuit.
So let's get into the rest of the Devil from 1975. So we open up their it's a 20th Century Fox logo, and again, you guys are going to have to kind of keep me up because it's been about 10 days since I watched the film. Although I don't think it's too much and it's too hard to remember. So
No, well,
yeah,
pretty straightforward.
you see the 20th Century Fox logo, and then the music starts to creep in. I noticed the music is really well done. It was like Alien. It sounded like Alien, a little. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, this movie was, it was shot well, acted well, all those things, well done movie.
It was like the music that like the screaming violin sounds, and then they showed like some scary trees out on the road or whatever, right? Yeah. And
Right,
I mean,
right.
it kind of had like a weird, like if you put a black and white filter on it, it's almost like a Twilight Zone kind of, Planet of the Apes kind of scene, kind of weird shit.
That's an interesting perspective. I didn't even think about that. That's a good take.
With that whole thing. So we open up in a garage, and there's some douchebag wearing sunglasses inside. Fix, she says something about fix this bike. I'm going on vacation, and that's why I need warrant. Not Dylan, but
Yeah,
Frank.
Frank. And yeah, these guys got a very nice motorcycle shop. I mean, from the retail shop up in the front, plus the mechanic shop in the back, they're a thriving business because they must have had 100 bikes just in their showroom, to buy. So,
for sure. Something about fix the bike because he's going on vacation, and then they ask about who is Peter Fonda's character again?
Roger.
They ask about
Roger Marsh.
Mumble, what about Roger? And they say he's at the track. So we head over to the next scene, and they're at the speedway. And we see Peter Fonda is on a bike racing. And you know what this is? This is basically the shit that these super rich guys were into. So they'd sign on to do movies like this so they could just ride bikes and shit like that. I mean, this is literally what we're.
Like Steve McQueen doing movies, like race car movies, or same thing with James Garner, Paul Newman. Yeah.
So and then all of a sudden, here comes a Winnebago comes pulling up right on the fucking shit.
Dude, I thought that was so weird. They're racing around this racetrack, and he went in the Winnebago, this 35-footer, pulls up and waits for him to go by, and then just drives right across the track into the infield. Like, you're not gonna wait till they're actually done racing. Like, what if it's stalled out in the middle of the fucking track on you?
Right in the side of the Winnebago.
That's a horror movie right there.
So the race ends, and they're asking how was his time? 17:2. I don't know. We're supposed to compare that to
to nothing because we have no reference. But apparently they're not happy with it. It's like, we could shave that down. Yeah.
I don't know, something about 32 feet and gleaming, and Fonda's and Pete, and Roger's welding. Right? It's Roger again. Peter's Roger.
Peter Fonda is Roger, and Warren Oates is Frank. Yeah, and Frank has just purchased the 32-foot gleaming, shining, brand new Winnebago all-terrain RV. Yeah, that they're going to go on a road trip for vacation. And Frank acts like and maybe he hasn't. He's never taken a vacation in his life.
Yeah,
because he's really he's not so much excited. He's stern and very foot in the ground about we're going on this fucking vacation and nothing is standing in our way.
Nothing.
Yeah, so they're talking about the bike, and then what's her name? Hot Lips from the Mass TV show, right? Pops up out of nowhere.
Hot Pants Houlihan, yeah, and her character name in the movie is Alice.
Yeah, so she's in the Winnebago. She pops up.
Yeah, and that's Frank's old lady, and then we get our second lady, actress is Kelly, is her name in the
So
movie.
they
Yeah.
basically like whoopie doo, where they jump in the Winnebago and they're fucking out of there. They're on vacation. So they begin their ski trip. Basically, they're headed. So we learn they're headed on a ski trip vacation in the brand new RV. And to bring the motorcycles along. It's
And it's a long trip too. They're leaving from San Antonio, Texas, driving all the way to Aspen, Colorado, which that's
a
that's a long way.
So next
Oh.
scene, they're in the Winnebago. They're what are they talking about? They're talking about the amenities, right? Like there's stereo, 4 channels, and a color TV, and all this stuff.
A big thing was, oh look, we got a microwave oven. I got a microwave. It was
Yeah,
huge.
there's
Oh.
and then there was something. He said there was something. There was a woman bath. Did you catch that? I don't know if I. Yeah, okay.
I missed that.
And then
He did mention the bathroom, like he opened it up and showed it to everybody, but I didn't. I must have missed that. The Roman bath aspect of the conversation.
he basically when he opens the door doesn't. That's when we meet Ginger the dog. That's when the dog pops out of that thing.
Yeah. And our buddy, our star Frank is nice. What the fuck is this? Like, who brought this dog?
Yeah. And he asks her, "Where's the fish?" So, which is like excellent. So they're on the freeway, and at some point the girls want to stop, and they stop at what is it, 1472 West Hidden Valley Park Estates, right? Yeah, and
Yeah. No.
and then so basically they were going to stop there, and he goes, "No, baby, we're self-contained. We're not staying at one of those. That's for like the losers. We're like, self-contained. We don't need this shit. We're like off-road this shit, right?" And that's what they.
Yeah. They got a Winnebago. And food. What do they need?
No, they're
Excel for?
off-road.
It says something about this is our private road to seclusion or something like that. Right?
Well, and I wrote down. I said on a road trip, great, and then it never goes well in a horror movie when you pull off the freeway and go onto a dirt road. That's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah. And it was funny too because when they take off on the little what is it again? He calls it a private road to seclusion. They start playing like this fucking 1960s Disney music, right? It's like all fucking. It's like watching some like nature show from like 1958. Where they're falling.
Yeah, the Disney productions that they did of all the nature, whatever.
Skunks in the forest, and it's like some music like that, right? Very outpaced. And they're driving across the creek, right? And they cut across this creek and then start driving down the fucking creek, right? Which did it?
No, they just cut across it and get across to to the other side of the river. And they found a great place to park.
Nice place to park, and
Yeah.
of course this fucking idiot says, "Hey Frank, you ever skip rocks?" It's like, fucking break.
And Frank comes back and says, "Yeah, not since I was a kid." And ... I was never a kid. Hence, I've never skipped rocks before. Because he's an old surly man. He's an old surly man.
Poor Frank.
Correct.
So basically, this establishes that they're just out there having a good old time, right? They're on an adventure, and everything seems on the up and up, right?
Yeah. Drinks are flowing. They got the bar. Bar's fully stocked, and they're ready.
Oh yeah.
Having a good time.
Roger and Frank ride their dirt bikes while Kelly and Alice settle in. So the guys can do the guys.
Yeah, we get some great. Yeah, we get some great POV shots of their faces riding the dirt bikes. That was, I mean, for the time, that was probably pretty cutting edge.
Yeah.
So Frank and Roger out there on the bikes, and so they're driving around, whatever, and they end up stopping to take a breather, and they're like, you think you're a hot shot, don't you? And all the trash talk. They act like they're fucking 12. I mean, they're not very. They're not very intelligent men.
Well, they are on dirt bikes though, and if when you get on two wheels, it changes something in your brain, and you revert back to your adolescence.
So then the girls are out hiking, and they hear Ginger barking, and at some point, like, doesn't Kelly give an ominous stare over to the creek, right? Like Kelly kind of has this friendly issue going on the whole time, right?
Absolutely. I mean, that's what they imply, that she can see stuff that ain't there or whatever. Like something. Yeah, she sees danger. Before
dog
it's
is
there.
barking, and she gives this weird ominous stare over at the creek. And then she kind of snaps out of it. It's like, oh, let's head back. Okay. So
Yeah.
back at the creek, bicycles. So they're racing bikes, and for that $10, big $10. And he says,
Yeah,
$10.
yeah.
And he goes, I only raised the money. It's $10. Well, there you go. Changes everything. And one of who is it? It's Rock ends up
Frank
ends up in the drift.
Frank. Yeah, ends up running his bike into like a little pond. He goes off a jump and bam, doesn't hurt himself or anything, but it is somewhat humiliating.
Pretty funny when I was watching it.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
Rock
Pretty
comes
funny.
up, says some shit about quack quack, and doesn't offer to help him at all. Is just sitting there.
No, the guy's his bike's underwater. He's laying on top of it, sitting down, and he kind of, gives him shit. He quacks at him like because he's in the water, and then tears his ass off back down the trail. Like, you're not gonna help him pick up the bike, dude.
So that's the scene. With the next thing you know, it's nighttime. They're out on the. They're camping next to the Winnebago, having dinner. Ginger's kind of barking at something or whatever. And which I noticed that somebody's wearing an ugly ass T-shirt. I think it was. I don't know if you caught that. The Ginger's doing some more barking, and then they have a toast, right? They have champagne and all that stuff, and it's kind of
Yeah.
Next thing you know, it's later at night, and Pete and Warren are outside of the Winnebago having some late night, having nightcaps, having a few drinks, bullshit, reminiscing.
Oh yeah.
And next thing you know, we cut back to the girls in the trailer. I think to show that they're sleeping or whatever. I can't. There's a quick exchange or something.
Yeah. They're winding it down. Now they're in their nighttime attire, getting ready to hit the hay. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
That's funny.
And then we cut back. Yeah. Then we cut back. Oh, go ahead, Dave. Go ahead.
I thought it didn't start, but that's not the recording recorded to it. Oh my god. But what were you saying?
And then we cut back to the men back outside the Winnebago, sitting at
So
their
they're
little table
drunk,
campsite.
like giving each other basically praises, just kind of like telling each other, I love you, dude, whatever kind of shit. Yeah.
I love you, man. I love you.
And next thing you know, they hear a noise and they look off into the distance and they see a fire starting, right?
Yeah, fucking these motherfuckers, whoever these people are, light a very large bonfire,
Man,
So they get curious, and Frank goes in the Winnebago, grabs the binoculars, and they kind of trek off towards the fire, get a little bit closer, and start spying on whoever these people are.
They sneak up on the ritual basically, and they close up on the ceremony, and they see a guy with a sword and a mask, dancing around like ring around the rosy kind of fucking thing going on. And and Roger decide they want to take. They kind of look at each other like, "This is a closer look, don't they?" And they get a little bit closer, and that's not the right choice.
Yeah, they do.
Of course, not making good choices. All of a sudden they see the naked girl, right? And she's at the man's feet.
Now what? Yeah, they see a few girls derobe basically, and they're both like fighting for the control of the binoculars so they can get a good look at these ladies dancing around.
man,
And
they're getting excited for sure.
yeah, for sure, absolutely. It's not every day. It's not every day you come across a ritualistic campfire with a bunch of naked girls. I mean,
They could think, running around the campfire.
especially not in 1975.
So
Yeah.
and at some point one of the naked girls end up at the or girls, that's what it was. Yeah, they're all at his feet, kind of fighting for him and all that, as you're saying, Eric. And and I wrote down Pete and Warren are enjoying this way too much. I kept referring to him as Pete. But and he is Warren Oates.
Yeah.
But they're
Warren Oates.
way too much. They're fucking peeping toms basically. And so
It reminded me of myself and a couple of and some other buddies that if we'd stumbled across this, we'd be doing the same damn thing.
But, so Peter and Warren enjoying this way too much. So at this point, we see they bring like this one girl out, right? And she's kind of like presented to the dude with the sword and the mask, so to speak. And they take her top off. And this is when I said, Eddie, you're fired. Because they blurred out the blurred out
Uh, none of us, I think, wanted to
And
actually pay to rent this thing, so we watched it, and every copy we had was, blurred out titties. So no boobs for
I was
us.
squinting and I rewound it, and I was like, "No, you can't do that." But yeah, boobs are blurred out. So the hot young blonde is held over the fire now, and the dude basically stabs her in the stomach, and just stabs her in the fucking stomach. Right.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it looked like they were sacrificing a virgin or what, along those lines. I think it's
yeah.
like
And all of
that.
a sudden, out of nowhere, doesn't Hot Pants? Is it Hot Pants or Hot Lips? It's Hot Pants.
It's Hot Pants Houlihan.
Flips.
Yeah.
She like flips on the light or whatever, right?
Yeah,
She
Hot
come
Pants
out and
Houlihan.
flip on the light.
Well, yeah, the girls are like, where are our men? And so they go outside. They go outside the RV. You see, they're not sitting there, and right in front, and flip on the lights and start yelling their names, like, where'd you go?
Yeah.
Roger,
This
Frank.
masked man kind of looks over and is like, "What the fuck?" Right? And he really,
Oh yeah. Well, I mean,
Well,
yeah.
because Frank's trying to quiet him down. Frank's like, shut the light off, and then fucking like she's like sitting there like just deaf as dumb as that. You're like, what? And then and then he raises his voice, and then that's when Roger notices. He's like, oh shit, we've been spotted.
Yeah, probably not the people you want to get spotted by, since they basically just committed murder, and there's
Yeah,
quite a few
and
more
then
of them.
Roger's eyes get real big. He's like, "Oh shit, we've been spotted!" And then fucking runs back to the RV. They try to pack it up, telling the wife like, "Hey, get the fuck in here, or get in here." Like she's like hella confused, but Roger and Frank know what the hell time it is.
basically
They're
trying to
like,
explain to them as
"We
they're
gotta
trying to
go."
get their shit together that there was a murder. Basically, aren't they telling them that in the Winnebago? Basically, they're kind of telling them like, "Look, there's all this. Just shut the fuck
Mhm.
up and sit the fuck down. Just need to get the fuck out of here, man." And so at one point, they hold on a second. At one point, they get stuck in the creek, right? Which I assume was going to happen.
Yeah, so they tear ass off out of there, and of course, what's her name? Hot Pants is driving Alice, and oh no, it's actually Frank is driving, and he gets stuck on a rock or a hole in the creek, and now they're in the water.
Like, we need to get out and push or some shit, right? And I was like, an RV? I was like, okay. And then basically the savages,
Yeah.
they look like a bunch of savages. They're running. You see them kind of, the people that were at the ritual, that basically they're coming to get them. They're all
Oh, yeah,
coming through the woods coming after them, right? And one guy,
they're in hot pursuit,
and so
big
they're
time.
like, what are they like moving
Big
rocks
time.
and wood around the wheels to kind of get some traction so they can push the thing out of there, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
they get their
Exactly.
and then they're fucking out of there. And one of the savages catches up with the RV. Oh, a couple of them catch up with the RV, and one of them breaks out the back window, and Frank's fighting them with a shovel. As another one jumps on the windshield. How the fuck he got out there real quick was pretty amazing. And how do you jump on the windshield of a Winnebago? Isn't it flat? It's a weird one.
Yeah, that's use your imagination. Don't try to overanalyze.
Fuck out of it. Yeah, you gotta subdue your disbelief, right? So they basically they gotta get the fuck out of there, and they basically managed to get out of there before the fucking savages get them.
Yeah. I mean, they broke out the back window and fucked up the RV a little bit, but all in all, they got out of there and back onto the main road. And now they're hauling ass to the next town. Where they can hopefully find some kind of law enforcement to report this to.
At a cop shop, talking to deputies, and they're looking for prints, right, on the RV, right? Yeah.
Yeah, the police officers are dusting the RV for prints and all that shit.
And he says we got to get back out there, and the guys head back with the sheriff.
Yeah, so the sheriff, because they tell the sheriff that they witnessed the murder. So he's like, "Well, it's almost dawn. It's almost light. So let's head out there now because we'll get there before they have time to clean up or whatever." So they go on to go back to the scene of the
This all
crime.
happened after their midnight, nightcap or whatever. And once they drove to the next town, it was probably a couple hours
Right.
before sunrise. So it all makes sense. I mean, as far as the continuity goes, it's well
And all, yeah,
written.
yeah,
So
yep. And say when they're driving with the deputies, there was a line that said the sheriff said, "Yeah, this part of Texas has changed," and he says a bunch of hippies moved in, and now they smoke their shit, put stuff up their nose and into their arms, which I thought was a pretty great line.
yeah, it is something about how some kids killed and skinned 5 cats, and they found cat blood and all this crazy shit, right? It's
Right, and then either Roger or Frank says, "Well, I think they ran out of cats,
yeah.
hence why they murdered this girl."
Well, they ran out of pussy.
Yeah.
So they're with the cops, and all the stuff is gone, right? All their stuff is gone. They left behind all the stuff that they tore out of there because they didn't pack when they
Yeah.
left. All their shit's gone. All the shit from the rituals gone, right? Oh no, they do find like leftover embers, right?
Well, and they find. I mean, you can't. They find where the fire was, obviously, because that was a big fire, and there's no way you're gonna, really cover
The
that
fire
up.
was so
But yeah,
big, it was
Right.
burning the tips of the trees. I mean,
yeah, and I mean, but the body's gone, and but they do stumble upon
To be
some blood in the dirt, and
steps. Who finds the dude? I mean, to be clear,
okay,
finds the blood, and he skills
yeah, all right,
with his
well,
fucking hands. Like with a bunch of fucking weird ass hillbilly
well,
shit.
yeah, it's bare hands, but
It's disgusting, dude.
it's it's Texas in 1975. All right, that's when men were men and sheep were afraid of them. All right.
Up blood with hand. That's nasty. That's whatever. Fuck. So yeah,
And yeah, and when they find that blood, the deputies and the sheriff are
Yeah.
still not convinced that it's human blood. They're like, it could have been an animal, could be whatever, because they don't exactly believe, them. They don't. They're still not taking it to heart. In my opinion, that they actually saw what they say they
at
saw.
one point, Frank finds a dog in the tree. Right? Right?
Yeah,
What dog?
yeah,
That's just
yeah,
a
Yes.
random dog.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Right.
yeah. Or it could have been a coyote, or but wild dog or something. Yeah, obviously
why
these
is it in
people
a
had killed.
fucking tree?
Well, they like nailed his ass up there, or perched him on a branch or some shit.
Right, so we're back at the
Something,
RV with the girls. They're cleaning up.
Yeah.
Kelly finds a piece of paper with runes symbols on it. And I guess she says that this was
Mm.
stuck on the back window. Or one of the savages that broke the back window threw it in the van. Or yeah,
Yeah, it was some kind of note that was like shoved onto a shard of glass.
trying to take them out.
Yeah.
Let's see where we go here. So then, they're talking about runes and what they represent. It's the witchcraft or whatever the fuck it is, all this bullshit. And they decide to go to the library. And they head over to the public library there where they're being watched by a red truck. So this is kind of when we start to see again, like that one movie we watched where like you couldn't tell if the whole town was in on it or not. Remember? What was it?
Oh, that was what the fuck was that? Not The Hills Have Eyes, but
A month ago.
what was it?
No, not the but
Oh, Wicker Man?
It was, over here actually. Hold on. It was
Yeah,
it wasn't House. It was
I'm looking.
Edge of the Axe. Yeah, yeah. No,
Oh, yeah, but I guess Edge of the Axe. We weren't sure who was in it. Yeah, they're very vague on who the killer is. You're right, and who's in on it, who's not. Yeah,
so,
that's correct.
yeah. So like I said,
Yeah.
this is when we started to get the feeling that Pete, they're being watched basically. And even them in the movie, they haven't quite felt it yet. But as a viewer, you're starting to notice this.
One thing the movie does that strays away from horror movies we watched, like, that you saw in the 80s or 90s, is that all four of them, the two men and the two ladies, they're all pretty smart. Like, they don't do any real dumb shit. Like, they get the fuck out of there. They don't fall down when they're running. The ladies get a good idea to go to the library and find out what the fuck this note says. Like, they're thinking, which is a stray from horror movies, I guess.
That before we get to that library scene, when the sheriff was at the crime scene with Roger and Peter, or whoever the hell, Peter and Warren, Frank and Roger.
Frank and Roger, yeah, or Peter, yeah. Oh, absolutely. He doesn't believe. He doesn't believe of. He's trying to cover it up. He's like, you didn't see what you saw. It was smoke. It was dark. It was laid out. You were far away. Who knows what you saw?
You're listening to the Heavy Door Horror Podcast. Don't worry, we won't tell anyone.
And we're back. Okay, so basically, we're at the library now. And as we, let's see. Yeah, so they're at the library and they find a book on demonology. And what do you know? Within seconds, they find a drawing that looks exactly like what happened, right? More or less.
Yeah. It was. And the caption underneath said, like, it was a rendition of Aztec warriors sacrificing a virgin for tribute.
Yeah, it may as well have said, "This is what Roger and fucking." And I still can't remember the thing.
Frank.
Roger and Frank saw last night.
Yeah.
So yeah, they basically, and so they want to check out the book, and the librarian's act a little weird, but she kind of has a good excuse. She says, you can't borrow this book because it's a reference book, which is true because I go to the library, I know these things. So they're like, okay, no problem. We're gonna bring this one. We'll go ahead and put this back, and they start bullshitting, right? She distracts the librarian, right? Am I tripping?
Yeah. Well, Alice is still talking to the librarian as Kelly goes to put the book back, as I did that in air quotes, and she shoves it in her purse, and they're like, okay, thanks, have a nice day, and they take off. No harm, no foul. When they leave the library, they're like, once we're done, we'll mail it back. And I believed them. I believed it.
Yeah, no,
I believe.
Yeah, I mean, I have no reason to doubt her.
Oh,
Basically, now we're back in town with the sheriff, and he's telling them that, just go ahead on with your trip and all that stuff. And, because basically, I mean, what is the sheriff gives him some spiel about how we'll take care of it on our end. You guys just go ahead on your trip. Don't worry about a thing. There's not much more to it than that, right? They'll follow up on it. And,
I mean, unless Roger and Frank want to go vigilante justice and become Batman, what else are they supposed to? I mean, they're going to hang out there and forego their vacation to see where this investigation leads. Like, forget it.
I keep forgetting they have the vacation thing as well. Yeah. So go ahead, go with your trip. I'm going on your trip. Don't worry about it. So long, we're out of there. And they leave town, and sure enough, that red truck follows them out of town.
Sure does.
Yeah. So they get a piece or two down the road, and they stop at a gas station. And the gas station gas station attendant with a cat, right? He's holding a cat, right? Yeah, that's what.
It was this black cat, and this cat was giving him the business, dude. And I mean, because he's really kind of aggressive with it, and it's red, and and he must have really got bit on set quite a few times by this cat, because I mean, and to his credit, he didn't break care. I mean, who knows how many takes it took, but in every shot that was on the movie, it worked. I mean, he didn't flinch, he didn't do nothing. This cat's gnawing at his hand. And, that was pretty good. That was pretty good.
I think he said the cat's name was Sam, I think, right?
Yeah, and the dog, whatever the fucking dog's name is, comes to the window and is barking at the cat. And he goes, you better not let that dog out. This cat eats dogs like that for breakfast, something along those lines.
That's right. So let's see. Frank tells him, can you fix the window and check everything, the hood or whatever the fuck it is. And so Frank and Roger discuss just the whole police interaction, and just kind of like
Yeah, basically they're like, they don't feel too confident that our said deputies that they just left are actually going to give this what they think it's worth. So they're going to stop in Amarillo, which is in like West Texas, Northwest Texas, and tell the state troopers or the Texas Rangers or the CHP or the state highway patrol or something.
Exactly. And as they're having this discussion, as the red truck drives by, we see the red truck.
Mhm.
So Hot Lips reads about the Aztecs, or Hot Pants, excuse me, reads about the Aztecs, and she shows them the note. And basically she explains to them that the rune, right, that was left for them basically says that any evil you cause will come back to you ninefold and all this stuff, right?
Yeah, which again doesn't. I mean, I thought about that. It doesn't really make sense because what evil have they committed?
Right.
I mean,
Right.
they haven't really done it. They haven't done it other than I guess you could say they drove possibly onto somebody's land. When they go, to camp for the first time. I mean, maybe that was private property. Well, again, that's not really evil.
Satanists,
Yeah.
Satanists can be very, mind.
Territorial.
Yeah, so, and as they go over that, this when Pete shows everybody the blood sample that he took, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Pete had done his own. Pete Fonda had done his own little thing where Roger, the character Roger, after the cops left and when the cops weren't looking, when they were at the ritual site, he got his own blood sample. Pretty nifty there, Pete Fonda.
Yeah, thinking ahead. Thinking ahead.
Yep. Apparently, he snuck back to collect the blood sample, according to what I read on the internet. So let's see. At this point, he says basically at the next town we're going to give it to the police, and Pete explains the blood plan to him, and Amarillo is going to be the perfect place to do that. And at one point we see Kelly. She's doing something. She starts acting weird again and having that weird kind of clairvoyant like thing where she starts staring off into a corner. There's some moment here, right? And she kind of snaps out of it again, and boom, we're on the road, and they're heading back. They're heading on down the road, I guess, now to Amarillo. So now they decide to take a break, and they stop at an RV park. And
it was jumping. I mean, there's tons of families, tons of kids, a pool, all kinds of shit. Look like a nice place.
Yeah, for sure. So let's see, where I lost my part. So there's the time for martinis as Frank and Roger are making martinis, and the ladies head off to the swimming pool. And Kelly's in the pool, and at one point she starts getting that weird thing, that weird clairvoyant, like they're all up.
Well, in her defense, this time as she's looking around as she's in the pool, every male there is staring at her with dead eyes, or I want to kill you, or rape you eyes, pretty seriously.
Yeah.
So she had a point there to be a little nervous at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're all very homely looking people. Like one thing, this is the cream of the crop for America in 1975 right here.
Well, and I wrote. I mean, we don't exactly know how many miles they've traveled, like from where they were, where their witnesses were. But I was like, is the whole state of Texas in on this? Like the whole state.
Yeah.
It's like, how far does this cult reach?
Yeah, sure, man. Maybe it's all state.
Yeah.
So basically, she starts weirding out, and who's this? So Kelly starts weirding out, and the other chick, Hot Pants, tells her to kind of chill out or whatever, and she says, I don't like it here or whatever.
She's pretty much dead set on like, let's go back to San Antonio. Like, let's get the hell out of here. Yeah. And this is where when she says that, then Roger comes up to Frank and is like, hey, I think we should maybe go back. And this is where where Frank doubles down, like, I've never been on a fucking vacation, and we're going to Colorado. Yeah. We're making it to Aspen.
So the guys are back in the RV watching football. It's the Cowboys and the Vikings in Minnesota. And that's when he says, yeah, Kelly wants to go. And Frank or Roger says, come on, right? And
ain't happening. Ain't happening, pal.
Yeah. And he talks about how they suffered and like, didn't he say something about how they've been sleeping in hotels and all this crazy shit for a while and just kind of making ends meet? So they deserve this vacation.
Yeah, he's not. I mean, Frank is not going to let anything stop this vacation from happening.
And while this is all going on, we realize that Peter Fonda and Kelly are actually in the other room, and they can hear the whole conversation.
Yeah,
Which I thought that was awkward. Um, and then all of a sudden there's some abrupt entrance by these fucking local yokels that are straight out of like fucking National Lampoon's Vacation or some shit, right? Like they were weird.
Yeah, a man and his wife knock on the door loudly.
Yeah.
They open it up, and without Frank and Alice saying, "Yeah, come on in," they pretty much just
Yeah.
barge right into their RV, like, "Oh wow, look at this thing! It's so nice and brand new." Yeah.
It's like,
God. The,
it says, what is it? I'm Mr. What is it? Jack and Ethel Henderson.
Yeah. Yep.
And he's, asking him about the
Mhm.
different accoutrements with the goddamn RV. And, you guys went with plastic. We got real wood. And they're going back and forth about all this nerdy RV shit, And at
Yep.
some point, he's like, you know what? You guys should come over for dinner, right? Like, they'd be like, get the fuck out of my goddamn RV, motherfucker.
Well, I mean, like, number one, who invited you into my RV, motherfucker? Let's start there, pal. I don't know you exactly.
It's like Bobby Hill, remember that? When he said,
Yeah.
Stranger danger. Stranger danger.
So then they're basically trying to talk their way out of dinner, and they basically end up talking their way into going to a honky tonk, right? To a cowboy bar.
Oh yeah, cowboy bar with a live band, and he says, "I'm going to take you to a place where these steaks melt in your mouth like butter."
Yeah.
I know.
And they're telling the Hendersons, so they're at the cowboy bar, and they're telling the Hendersons about the Satanist. And meanwhile, there's a bunch of dancing going on. And Kelly starts weirding out again. She has her thing, staring off into a corner, right? Because isn't there's like some weird music every time she has her little fucking zone.
Well, and it is,
Yeah.
and then they also cut to the people, the band on stage, and the guy playing the lap steel guitar has that look again of the guys at the pool, fucking staring at her with these rapey eyes, and it was creepy. It was creepy.
So let's see. So she starts weirding out again, and the giant fight breaks out, and they're like, "This is the first fight of the night. We love it." I mean, they're having a good old time. The Hendersons are loving this shit.
Yeah. That was great. I mean, yeah, all of a sudden we were in the movie Roadhouse just with a bar fight, fucking going off, and people, it could be like the Double Deuce. This is the type of place where you got to sweep up eyeballs at the end of the night.
Right.
So basically, that's the end of the scene at the honky tonk, and the two couples head back to the RV. When they get to the RV, they find Ginger hanging dead from the door of the RV. And
Dun dun dun. Yeah.
I need to get that. I need to get that soundbite. I should get that soundbite.
Yeah, this dog is dead, hanging by a rope off the door.
I gotta kill a little dog.
Yeah. It was fucked up.
Fucking
It was fucked up.
man.
I fell for it too, man. Shit. And fucking, of
Yeah.
course, Kelly just fucking loses it. She's freaking out about the dog, right? I mean, it makes sense, right? So, so they're in the van or in the RV trying to calm Kelly down. And at some point, isn't Frank out, or not Frank, Roger outside, or no, Frank is outside, like yelling at some of the other people, like nobody saw nothing.
Well, yeah, I mean, at this point, because women were, understandably a little hysterical, the neighbors have come out of their RVs and are kind of standing there in the road looking at what's going on. And rightfully so, the men are like, "Did you hear something? Did you hear something? Who the fuck? How could you not hear something?" And yeah. And so, and then, nobody, of course, fesses up because I guess the whole state of Texas is in this coal.
He's in on
so
it. Yeah.
they decide to fucking get the fuck out of there, which, was smart.
Yeah. So, where are we at here? So they,
They're tearing ass out of the RV park, and now they're back. Now they're back on the 2-lane highway, heading north. and Roger, asks Frank. He's like, "Hey, would you like a cup of coffee?" You know what? That'd be great. I'd love a cup of coffee. And he proceeds to go back to the kitchen, open the cabinet, and a motherfucking rattlesnake comes, comes out at him, tries to bite him in the face.
Yeah, so the rattlesnake basically jumps out, fucking jumps across the RV, and it lands on Kelly, right? And she's like, knocks her on the snake, knocks her on the ground, apparently.
I think for terror and fear knocked herself onto the ground, but yeah. Roughly, I mean, you get a rattlesnake jumping out at you like that. That'd be pretty terrifying.
Sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Then there's just this melee of madness going on where they're trying to fucking kill this goddamn snake.
It was ridiculous. This scene was, I mean, it was ridiculous. So you get Frank trying to drive the RV, and now the two women are screaming. Peter, the whole time, Peter Fonda, is on the ground, like almost incapacitated, because now there's two snakes. We didn't really see where the other
Yeah.
snake came from, but there's two snakes, and one is 3 feet from his face and rattling like a motherfucker, and he's almost like what would the word, the phrase be like? He can't move because he's so scared.
Petrified.
Or he's paralyzed
Petrified,
with fear.
like-
Yeah, paralyzed with fear almost is what it felt like, And then you get Frank drives the fucking RV into a tree like an idiot, and then goes back and tries to get the other snake with a ski pole. He's stabbing at it with a ski
And the
pole.
whole time these two women are screaming and screaming and screaming.
Oh, my
Peter
God.
is laying there staring at everyone like they're crazy, and they're all like, "Why
They're
don't you
paralyzed.
help?" And Frank finally has to stop the fucking RV, like he said, by slamming it into a fucking tree in the middle of nowhere. I mean, this is like
Yeah.
it's fucking hilarious, dude. It's like
They could have played yakety sax over it, and it would have worked.
Yeah.
Vacation in the RV, and it would have been fun. Yeah,
Yeah. No doubt.
And Frank, and Frank could have been cousin, what's his name, or Uncle Eddie. You know what I mean?
No, Uncle, Randy Quaid. That would have been great.
So yeah, Peter takes down the fucking snake with a pole. And Frank drives the fucking RV into a tree. Yeah. I wrote down, why didn't he just stop? And Peter just went there like a fucking idiot. And hold on, Peter grabs the snake as Warren's still stabbing it on the ground. Warren stamps out the snake on the floor. It's in Peter's hand at this point. So did you notice that all of a sudden, everything issue there, well, all of a sudden the snake was in Peter Fonda's hand? Yeah.
That whole snake scene was just, I was just like, oh my gosh, yeah.
That was cutting edge cinematography and acting for 1975. All right, guys, let's not get it twisted.
And so at this point, they pull over. They pull over, and they didn't pull over. They're pulled over into a G. They all jump out, and Kelly's having a fucking meltdown. She's very upset about the whole thing. And they go searching the rest of the RV, right, just to make sure nothing else is in there, right? Yeah. And
correct.
Somebody says they found a box of mac and cheese or some shit.
It flew out of the fucking cabinet, and it kind of scared Peter Fonda again. But it was just a box of it was just our nice blue box of Kraft macaroni and cheese.
So Kelly's having a meltdown, and she basically says like, "They kicked you out there," right? And Peter's like trying to calm her down, whatever, right?
So make a lot of noise so they know where you are.
So they kind of bed down for the night, and it's morning. And they're burying the dog because I guess the dog had been a freezer to this whole extent.
Yeah, who knows where they put it, but yeah, I mean they gave the dog a nice send off. He deserved it. Buried a nice little hole. Put his leash and collar and little emblem on top of top of where they buried it. It was like I believe it was just his collar and maybe his dog tag, and on top of the hole.
Okay, so Warren, while this is all going on, Frank is working on the fan, trying to fix the fan because I guess they fucked up the fan when they drove into the tree.
Well, when he drove it into the tree, he fucking pushed the fan into the radiator, and he's like, get me the tools. We'll be done in here in half an hour. Again, when men were men and sheep were afraid of him, you could still work on the car and get on back down.
The toolbox, and I'll take care of it. And then he goes to get out. So Peter Fonda goes to get the toolbox, and he finds that the bikes have been compromised. All the tires have been slashed.
Tires been slashed. They punctured the gas tanks.
Gas tanks cut
the spokes. And so these
fuel line.
The bikes are,
that happened either. If you think about it.
No, I mean it probably happened when they killed the dog, because they didn't look at the bikes, probably. But who knows? Yeah, but who knows?
All of a sudden, the bikes are compromised. So all of a sudden, we're in like a sporting goods store, or like a general store or something, right? And they're getting Frank wants a shotgun and Peter wants a phone, right? So
Yeah, because because they've tried to when they stopped early, the guy with the cat earlier, the guy with the black cat, he tried to use the phone at the gas station there, and he got no dial tone, and he asked the clerk like, "What the fuck's up with the phone?" He said, "Oh, we had a big windstorm, and so the exact same thing happens again when they get to the next gas station convenience store. But this gas station convenience store
Yeah,
does sell,
Frank's like
sell
a big
rifles and
win.
shotguns. yeah,
He's,
big win.
yeah, Frank's just sitting there going, a big wind, huh?
Yeah,
You know, like fuck
he's
this
like, you're
fucking
full of
big
shit.
wind in
You're
my
full of
ass.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the shotgun is only $219 plus tax. The phone doesn't work.
Yeah.
But Frank does get 2 boxes of buckshot. So
But it's weird too. It's weird too when he uses the phone the second time. He puts his dime in because hits 0 to dial the operator, and somebody comes on the phone, whether it was recording or not, was like, "Hello, operator, please," but then acts like the person on the other end can't hear him or whatever. So that was
Yeah, I
strange.
can't.
Because if the lines were down, you wouldn't get no fucking dial tone or no message. You wouldn't get anything. Yeah.
it's
So,
definitely it's the cult. They're everywhere. They could be out
mhm.
there, but so they go
Okay.
back in the RV and he's cleaning the gun, sharpening a knife. They're at another gas station and he tells the guy to check the water, right? Um,
Yeah, well, remember the radiator had been compromised, so he wants them to check it out.
at some
Yeah.
point, Kelly's sitting in the fucking RV, minding her own business, and another titty dude comes giving her the stare down, and she gets the whole like thing going on again, right? And she's like, why is it always
Yep.
me? But and so Pete finally makes a call, and the operator says, "Oh, this is when he makes call 7 problems." Right? Yeah. They're back
Oh,
on,
okay.
back on
That's
the
what it is.
road, and they're on the road to a town called Fisher, I think is what the next stop is. Supposedly.
Yeah, like they need to get to Fisher, which has the actual interstate running through it, so they can
Yeah.
get
Okay.
to Amarillo.
So
Yeah.
they're driving. All of a sudden, there's a tow truck behind them, and the tow truck rams them. So at this point, it turns into
Well, it's hell on wheels, basically. I mean, there's a box truck in front of them that slams on its brakes a bunch of times. The tow truck coming up from behind, ramming them, and then that red truck coming up from the side trying to box them all in and shit. And apparently, this cult is again in hot pursuit, but not on foot with trucks and shit this time.
Basically,
Yeah.
right, trying to box him in. Frank gets a shotgun. Frank shoot. This Frank kept shooting like the random side of the fucking. Like, what do you point? And he kept shooting the same holes. I don't know if that was because of special effects and they just kept taking the same shot, but it looked like he was shooting the exact same spot,
Yeah.
which is nowhere near where he should have been shooting, but he kept shooting at that same spot over and over. Shoots the side of the van. And I kept saying, why don't they just ram him back? I mean, you're in a fucking giant Winnebago. Hit him back.
Well, and eventually,
Yeah.
eventually they do. But I mean, they're pretty terrified, I guess, as this all unfolds. But we have a great. I mean, this is a pretty good car chase scene, for movies and stuff. It's pretty good.
They finally do ram the red truck. Red truck goes running outside the road. The box, and then there's a box truck that's behind him. That one goes down. And then the red truck comes back, and then there's an oncoming car, and they slam into a tow truck. And Pete.
Yeah. I mean, they give it to him though. They managed flipping the box truck over, and there was there was some good.
Or whatever, right? He pitted the front.
Yeah, there's some good car chase stuff in this.
So Pitt's car goes off the bridge into the drink, and the RV is all fucked up. There's fucking pieces falling off it. The girls are crying. They got to keep moving. They get back on the road, and they come to a roadblock. And there's
they're working on the road, but at this point, Peter's driving, and Frank, Warren Oates, has the binoculars out, and he's like, "Oh fuck, who's doing this roadblock?" And he looks at one of the trucks, and he's like, the town of wherever they were going, Fishhead or whatever the fuck it was called."
And he sees
and he sees.
And was it Amarillo or something? Or
no, they weren't to Amarillo yet. They were at that junction to get to the interstate to get to the Amarillo.
Oh yeah,
They had made it to that
so
town.
I thought it was like
So they
Something
think
like public service.
they think everything's
Yeah.
somewhat on the up and up
Public
at this
works.
point.
And
You know, they're
it's
like, oh,
all
Yeah.
fucking see, it's very hot out there, and they're working to clean up the mess. And they see there's a school bus that might have been involved in an accident, and that's when when
well, that's when. So Frank's driving now. Yeah, he's taking over the wheel again, and there's an accident in front of him, and they're coming up kind of slow to it, and he goes, "A school bus on Sunday? Fuck that!" He just fucking plows through the car. You know, there's a little bit of space there, and just
Yeah.
plows through the car and everything. And again, it's the whole cult has staged this accident to get them
Yeah.
stopped.
Fake accident. None of the kids are hurt. You know, like he looks over, he's like, "What's going on?" The kids are just sitting there.
yeah, so then basically ram trucks and the kids are just sitting there. Frank starts ramming the cars because he's like, this is bullshit. And a bunch of rednecks start jumping on the truck, the Winnebago again. And
Yeah, because they had to
one
slow
truck
down a little bit.
kicks the guy in the face and he goes into the river. The rednecks are on the back of the RV breaking windows. Pete fucking finally swings around with the shotgun and blasts one of them right in the face. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was great. I mean, he was trying to come in through the back window that they had broken earlier in the movie, and he just boom.
So there's a guy on the roof and he's pouring gasoline into the RV, right?
Yeah, through the skylight, and that was one of the great scenes. You know, so Peter Fonda, because they say, yeah, someone's on the roof. He goes, I'll go out there. So he climbs up onto the roof while they're driving down the road, and he has it out just a quick fight with this guy, and then he ducks down because they're coming up to a fucking overpass. And the fucking guy doesn't, the bad guy doesn't see it and just gets completely taken out. Would have been decapitated most likely.
It's like
Yeah,
it's like straight out of a
Guy's
fucking,
overpass.
Roadrunner cartoon.
Over the Hangover 2 or 3, where Zach Galifianakis buys the giraffe, is driving down the road with the giraffe and gets to a spot on the freeway where the overpass isn't tall enough for the giraffe's head to make it under, and we end up with a decapitated giraffe.
Yeah, bye-bye, giraffe.
So overpass, like you just said, they're being chased by a bunch of cars now. Cars are shooting. Pete's shooting bats from the roof. There's Molotov cocktails being thrown at them now. Let's see, one truck on the left. Oh, so there's one truck passes them on the left, and they hit the truck, and it gets up on two wheels, and it's going for a while there. It's going on two wheels. I guess that was the stuntman. That was the stuntman's day.
Oh, yeah.
Set, apparently.
And Peter Fonda, our hero, unstraps one of the broken motorcycles from the little trailer on the back as the truck is on two wheels, throws it in the middle of the road, and bam! Now he's flipped over onto his roof.
Yeah.
Peter's shooting out another car. Cool. There's no crash there or whatever. Yeah.
There was a great roll scene with one of those cars. I mean, it must have rolled 10 times end over end. I mean, yeah, it was good. I mean, that stunt driver made his money right there. You know?
So that's basically we're back in the RV. There's something up ahead, right? And they come across a detour sign, and then they come across a construction area, and they.
We're already past that. Yeah, past that.
That's about
we're done
2
now.
miles. Running out of daylight. Let's see. So then so they're driving and they hear Radio Amarillo, right? And that's when they're like,
Amarillo.
And, basically, woohoo! Everybody lighten up, So they all of a sudden they're so they're basically they're not on the road. They're pulled over and they get Radio Amarillo, and they're like, yeah.
Right, they pulled over on another dirt road. Like, hey, it's dark, and they don't have any headlights because everything's been this Winnebago has been put through the ringer.
Let's drink whatever. Everybody lighten up, kind of thing. And all of a sudden, a bonfire lights up outside of the RV, and you start to hear singing and chanting. And all of a sudden, we see outside of the RV all these people from throughout the movie, right, gathering outside the RV, right. And they're surrounding the RV, and then all of a sudden the flames light up and they surround the entire RV in a ring of fire. And there's Kelly is freaking out as usual. Her voodoo sense is going through the roof right now. She's freaking out. And we get basically what is the equivalent of a 1970s drone shot as it pulls away, and we see that the RV is surrounded in flames. And we get a freeze frame to end the movie like an episode of Simon and Sonny. And scene.
Yep.
That's
And
it.
scene. Yeah.
1975's Race with the Devil. Let's take a quick break, and we'll be back in the 2-minute warning.
I'm important. I have something to say.
Don't be a coward, son. Speak your mind.
Was she a great big fat person?
So why does your opinion matter more than my opinion?
Get your shit together, Danny.
Oh, good for you.
All right. Well, this is the part of the show where everybody gets 90 seconds to tell us what they thought of the movie. And, just it's your chance to rant for 90 seconds about Race with the Devil from 1975 and tell us how much you loved it, hated it, and or are impartial about it. Let's go ahead and start at the top with the one and only Eddie.
Eddie!
All right, Eddie, you got 90 seconds. Go for it.
All right. Well, here's what I thought. I found it to be a fun movie. Kind of what I'd expect from the era. First movie we've reviewed where with human sacrifice. So, thought that was interesting. I like how they mixed in the motorsport elements of like motocross, and then they're just driving, and then they're leisure driving in the RV, and the next thing you know, there's destructive chase scenes. I mean, I was right up my alley. I thought the plot was fair, though. Some of the things are kind of predictable, like when they went to dinner, and then they saw, shit happen to their RV and their dog, etc. And the ending is kind of predictable, I mean, it's like too good to be true that they're just driving away scot-free. The whole town, police and everybody, nobody's cooperative. Why the fuck did they have to kill the little dog? Fuck the Satanists. Hate when they kill the little dogs in these movies, or any dog at that matter. Any animal really. Shit gets real when Roger and Frank go and purchase the shotgun, or after they purchase the shotgun. The ending was kind of the icing on the cake for this movie. And I think this is the third movie in a row where the protagonist straight up loses and evil prevails. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Nicely wrapped up. Yeah, no, that's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. Okay.
Well, the good guy doesn't always win, I mean,
Yeah.
not in movies and not in life, Sometimes they lose.
I like that about movies like this.
All right, speaking of
Yeah.
the devil, let's go with
Brother Eric.
He's still there. Yeah, 90 seconds to go.
Oh, well, Race of the Devil. Good movie. Great cast. Was totally it hit the period, all the periods, being filmed in 1975, it really took you back there. And I mean, watching it in 2025 now, so that's 50 years ago. I mean,
Crazy.
a long time.
Yeah.
But instead, yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a 1970s movie. It was very similar to. It had a lot of similar elements to like The Hills Have Eyes, which we've watched, and The Car. Very. So it was. I enjoyed it, and yeah, I mean the car chase scene in this. I mean, I'm surprised it's not on more like greatest car chases in movies. I mean, it's not. I mean, maybe it's not up there, but surprised I haven't seen it on the internet cut in with other scenes like that, because there was some good stunt driving in that. I mean, these cars and Winnebagos and trucks were all over the road and did some pretty awesome shit. So that was fun. And yeah, then finally, when they get the shotgun, like Eddie was saying, they really let these motherfuckers have it, because they asked for it and they got it, and they deserved it. So that was fun, and it was a good movie. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
All right, let's go ahead and wait for your time to run out.
Oh, are we waiting now?
We're going to turn it off anyway. Let's see who's next. Yes.
Jim, stay focused, baby. This is key.
Stay focused. 90 seconds. Go.
Um, I didn't like the movie at all. I thought it was dry. I thought it was dry. There was just no direction. Um, yeah, it was just it's like what am I watching? It's like they're releasing they're fucking killing people, the satanic and the snake. It's like it just didn't like it just didn't it wasn't captivating. Like I didn't like the story. I didn't care for the acting. I liked the car race, the car chasing. Um, there were good parts of it, but all in all, it was just dry. Like I didn't like there was no soul to it. It was just empty. It was just like, oh, I'm just watching the movie. Just stuff
There
was
was
happening.
Satan's soul. Satan's soul was there. Satan's soul was there. All right.
You thought there was soul?
Satan's soul.
Well,
Satan.
yeah, it was like, yeah. I don't know. It was,
I get Kim that it wasn't Powder Puff Girls, and I know that's your deal. That's your but it's a little bit different,
yeah.
But,
It was a drive for me. I just couldn't.
Yeah, this movie was do it for Satan.
yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's what they were. That's what they were doing.
Your time. Your time.
Fair play, Kim. Fair play. Fair play.
Danny for Fanny, banana for Fanny, Danny.
30 seconds. I'm going to go a little easier on this. I'm going to say these things, and I'm going to say them in a very special way. This movie is well made. It was well acted. It was yeah. This is not for me. This is not for me. I agree. It was dry as fuck, dude. This shit was like if you changed the Satanists into a motorcycle, just like a generic motorcycle gang, this could have been like an ABC movie of the week. Like it was dumb. It was it just was not good. First of all, this is not a horror movie. There's nothing this is not a horror movie. I mean
the classification of genre is, a little. I guess the only thing that they strapped horror to this thing would be the the satanic rituals. And
Kelly had that weird feeling. It was like, that was it.
Yeah, they played that premonition music that they would play.
There's nothing wrong with
it's like television.
this movie, but this is not for me.
It's
and the copy we saw, they cut out the boobs, so we didn't even get that.
So yeah, that was that was a big. Okay, let's take a quick break, and we'll be back with Andy and the staff.
The Heavy Door Horror Podcast.
Now for Eddie with facts, figures, and trivia. In this segment, The Breakdown.
All right, everybody. Yeah, this was my pick. Race with the Devil. Released June 6th in Florida of 1975. Released July 9th in New York City. Shortly a month after. 88 minutes long. Directed by Jack Starrett. Screenplay and production by Wes Bishop and Lee Frost. Distributed by 20th Century Fox. Budget numbers. Here we go. 1.7 million in 75. Today that would equate to 10.3 million. Box office numbers. 6 million in 75. Today that would equate to 36.2 million. So it was definitely
it did well. It did well.
Yeah, it was a moderate success in the box office. And I didn't include the numbers for home or home video at the time because I mean it was like 70s, so they didn't really have a whole lot. But I mean it still pulled in a good amount, like from that. All right, so let's get to the cast. We have Peter Fonda as Roger Marsh. We have Warren Oates as Frank Stewart. We have Loretta Swit as Alice. Laura Parker as Kelly. R.G. Armstrong as Sheriff Taylor. Clay Tanner as Delbert Jack, quote, Jack Henderson. Carol Blodgett as Ethel Henderson. We have Paul A. Partain as, is that Ricky Ware? James N. Harrell as Cal Mathers. I'm reading off some of these cast people, and I don't know, like, it's been a few weeks, so, like, I don't remember who.
Well, there's not a lot of
we have Arky Blue.
Speaking roles in the movie, right? That, like, for the most part.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There's, I mean, the cast is, I mean, there's a lot of extras, or as I would call them, or but as far as speaking roles, it's really just our four main stars, for the most part. For the most part,
we have Arky Blue as Arky Blue. That's your Hollywood for you, Danny. Actors using their regular name because nobody can. We have the director, Jack Starrett. He is the gas station attendant. We have Wes Bishop, the producer. He was Deputy Dave. We have Deputy Booger.
Yeah, Deputy Dog. Deputy Dog.
Yeah. So we got Karen Miller as Kay. We have Paul Maslansky as road worker in cowboy hat.
He really stood out to me. I'm surprised he didn't get an Oscar nomination for his role as road worker with cowboy hat. I mean, it's just
road
a travesty.
worker.
I can't believe the Academy.
Yeah.
Can't believe the Academy. What were they thinking?
And that's actually an uncredited role. So
you don't
following
say.
That, yeah, we have Dan Hewitt Owens as Jay and John Buckley as quote Satanist. Maybe he was was he just a random guy running around, or was he the main head honcho during the sacrifice ritual?
The mask sword, like, would have gotten, like a specific title or something, right?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, you would also think that said Satanist that has the mask and the sword maybe at some point would be revealed. I mean, so we're aware of who this person actually is. But no. And you know what? Maybe they were saving that for the sequel, and we just never get that. Oh.
Yeah. And that is those are the facts, guys.
Right on. Hold on, I'm having it. I think I was.
Danny's he's having a breakdown over there on his own. Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Eddie!
Yeah, sir.
Thank you, Eddie.
All right. So Eric, did you have something too? And then Kim, I don't know if you did.
I got some. Yeah, I got some facts and trivia. Or I mean, not so much trivia. So the co-writer, as Eddie pointed out, was Lee Frost. And he was actually the original director, but a week into the shooting, he was not let go, but replaced by 20th Century Fox because they weren't happy with his vision and the way the movie was headed and going. Because a lot of the dialogue, apparently, that he was encouraging was all improvisational. They were, going off script, basically. So they replaced him with the other director, Jack Stewart, who was in the movie. So having done that, Fonda and Oates almost quit the movie, or they did for a time, and because they really liked Lee Frost apparently. But then they were talked back into coming and and finishing it, doing it, whatever. And so I mean that's pretty significant. I mean I mean Peter Fonda was a huge guy. I mean fucking what's it? Well, the motorcycle movie. Him and Dennis Hopper, Easy Rider. Right. I mean, that was huge. I mean, yeah, and that's as you said it like it made $6 million or whatever the number was. Like they were basically this movie piggybacked on the stars' names, and that's why people went and saw it. In my opinion.
Oh yeah.
In my opinion.
No. At the time, at the box office in '75, it made $6 million, but that equates to $36 million in today's money.
Today, and so it made like $5 million, and I mean it cost $1 million to make. They made $6 million roughly. So I mean that's shit. I'm surprised they didn't make a motherfucking sequel. And the reason they probably didn't is because as Fonda and Oates probably told them to go shove it. You know, I mean, well, I guess they did die at the end, but they could have done something.
They might have just become part of the massive cult. I mean, you know.
Well, okay. I like where maybe we should rewrite. Maybe we should write.
Maybe they join. Yeah.
Maybe Peter Fonda is the leader. Maybe Peter Fonda wields the sword and wears the mask now. You know what I mean? We don't know.
Well, how's he in two places at once? Unless he's that good at the satanic magic.
You know, it's called Easy Rider. Not an impressive movie. You guys ever watch that movie?
You know what? Shove it up your ass, Danny.
Yeah.
It's a good movie. When did that come out? Somebody look it up real quick. What, 1971, 72? I mean, that was ground. Yeah, I mean, they didn't really make movies like that. I get it. Like in today's, yeah. I guess so. Yeah. You're still a piece of shit for saying that, though. I'm gonna put that out there.
Things that Danny's an asshole for, because I still haven't seen Willy Wonka and the stupid thing, whatever you guys watched. Yeah.
The chocolate. Well, you're not a kid. You're not a kid anymore. Although you do have grandkids, and they'd probably enjoy it. Or
oh yeah,
they should.
So what else here? I have.
No. I mean, that was my fun fact of the day. Kim, if you got anything.
I got a few. Kim, you got any?
No.
Kim was like.
All right, I got a couple to share. I guess this might
my fucking time.
It was like.
Fuck about the goddamn trivia.
Nope. All right, I got quite a few. Let me run through these fast. Or at least fast enough. All right, so this movie was a strong influence to Kevin Smith's film Red State. Came out 2011. It was also a major influence to Drive Angry, also 2011 with Nicolas Cage.
Nick Cage, that and the old turd burglar, Amber Heard, and one taking a dump on the bed.
You know what? I'm not going to comment on that.
So.
It was proven in open court that she shit on the you know. Yeah, so.
Hold on. I got Red State.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever seen that movie? That's a really good movie, man. Yeah.
Dude, I haven't seen it yet.
Kevin Smith. You mean Silent Bob? Silent Bob made this movie. Kevin Smith.
Trust me, it's like kind of a reenactment of what happened at the David Koresh compound. It's kind of supposed to be. It's basic.
Fuck me! In Waco, Texas. Oh Jesus!
Very good. Yeah, I don't really know how it relates to race with the devil, but okay.
Well, he must have just taken inspiration, from.
Well, yeah, he was influenced by the movie to make. Red, anyway.
Maybe the way it was shot.
Moving on.
Whatever. Moving on.
Movie. Yeah. So this movie was director Jack Starrett's favorite movie of his own making. Yeah.
What else did this motherfucker make?
The hell out of me.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, So Laura Parker Kelly, she was actually dating Jack Starrett at the time this movie was filmed. This movie was the third and final collaboration between Fonda and Oates, following the other two movies, which were The Hired Hand, 1971, and 92 in the Shade, 1975.
Me either.
Never heard of them. The RV is actually not a Winnie. It is a 1975 Vogue 32-foot Villa Grande.
Was plastic wood veneer apparently as our nosy neighbors pointed, it came in.
Pointed out. Oh no, it's plastic. And he's all, I got it because it would be easier to clean. Like, fuck
Yeah,
you, dude.
it's low maintenance. And then he's like, yeah, the old lady be waxing the wood twice a week, and it's a lot of work, but she's got to do it, and she does, that's what she does. So, fuck it.
Hey. So here we go. I got another one. The chase scene. Hey, the chase scenes involving the motorhome and the varying stages of worsening damage to the motorhome were used as stock footage for an episode of 1981's The Fall Guy. I used to love that show. I watched the that show in the 80s.
Basically, more or less.
Hey, as a kid,
Hey, wait, that?
Yeah.
Hey,
wait. Makes hella sense. Like
Winnebago for that whole movie? Huh? Or one whatever the fellow was. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Apparently so. It was one Vogue 32-foot Villa Grande.
Because the thing's just taking a lot of damage throughout the film.
Yeah, but it's nice because it shows it's like progressive damage. Like it's not just like it doesn't all happen at once. It's like, all right, a little something happens, and then they crash it, and then they have to get this fixed, and then the headlights get busted, and then they're getting in fucking, or not in that order, but you get what I'm saying. It's like, and then by the time they're trying to drive back to Amarillo, they're like fucking no headlights, the front's all fucking busted, and they're just lucky to be rolling at that point. Here we go. This movie, Run with the Devil, is in a rare genre of movies. Occult, Race with the Devil. I know Run with the Devil is a different movie, and
also a great song.
Stupid movie. Yeah.
Oh, Running with the Devil. Yeah.
So anyway, Race with the Devil is part of a rare genre of movies, occult biker movies. It joins movies in the likes of a Psychomania, Werewolves on Wheels, 1971, and I Bought a Vampire Motorcycle, 1990.
The first one, Psychomania is really good.
And then the last two things. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I want to watch that. And then the last two things I'm going to share with you is $10 in 1975 was like $62 today. So like that's like being like, hey man, you want to race $60? Hell yeah, let's do it. Yeah, okay.
That's a good bet. That's worth it, I guess.
That's an eye opener there. Yeah. And then how much did he pay for the shotgun? It was like
$219.
$219.
I believe.
Yeah. Okay. So I had that right.
He said $219 plus tax, and then he asked for two boxes of buckshot, and so the total, if I remember correctly, was $226 plus tax. So that's the firearm plus 2 boxes of shells.
So roughly that comes out to about $1,400 today.
Wow. Holy shit! Which you could buy that shotgun and 2 boxes of shells for less than that now.
Yeah, well,
but to piggyback off of what Eddie was saying, so Jack Scarrett, he also played in Mel Brooks's classic that came out in 1974, Blazing Saddles. He was Gabby Johnson. I don't know if you guys remember who Gabby Johnson was. He was the pioneer frontiersman, the one ringing the bell that said the inappropriate stuff when Cleavon Little was riding up. No, the sheriff is so that was him as well, acting, and he was also in First Blood, the first Rambo movie. He was one of the deputies. Yeah.
Wow.
And he's been in other things, but those are kind of the 2 highlights.
That's a trip.
Laura Parker Girl, according to this, I just happened to read, was dating the director Jack Starrett. But all right, it's a little bit of background on the movie. Okay, that was the breakdown. Insert soundbite here.
Autobots, that's the breakdown.
Thank you, Eddie.
And we'll be back after the break with the stats.
You're listening to the Heavy Door Horror Podcast. You're welcome.
I need your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle.
All right, let's get into the stats here for 1975's Race with the Devil. We're going to go ahead and start at the top as we always do.
Eddie!
Hey, Eddie, in a word, how would you describe tonight's movie?
Cornball. It was kind of corny, you know? Like the, yeah.
Yeah.
Kinda.
All right. Well, I tell you what. I mean, this is a good category for this film. What about your favorite character? Excuse me, your favorite scene?
My favorite scene was the end scene, ending scene climax. Just because it's like, after everything they've been through, and then they're driving home, and then it's like, oh yeah, like, home stretch. All right, everything's cool. And then it's like, as soon as they pull up, they're like, oh, we got to pull over and stop because the headlights are out. It's like, no, this isn't going to end good. And then boom, you know what I mean? Like, they had like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you noticed, but it's like, they lit up the flames around the RV, and then you could see the sheriff from the beginning, and then you could see freaking what's that guy's name? Jack Henderson. He's right there.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, you know what I mean? Like, damn, like,
the whole state is in on this.
yeah,
the
like,
whole huge, great state of Texas. That's massive.
Anywhere they go, man, it's like there's nowhere to hide.
All right. Yeah, no, that's definitely a good scene. What about your favorite character?
My favorite character was Frank, man. He was a stab, man. He was a baller too, because he just, like, I'm telling you, the gun store scene really impressed me, because he walked in there and they're like this, and they're like, oh yeah, it'll be how much? He's like looking at the shotgun. He's like, oh, this is nice. How much is this? And the dude's like, $219. And he sits there and he fucking pulls out the cash. He looks at the wad. He's like, fuck it, let's do it. You know what I mean? Like, hey, money don't mean shit. I need this fucking, that's a baller move right there. When you need it and you got the cash, you know what? Fuck it. You know what I mean? Like, hey, cash comes and goes. You know what I mean? But
yeah, you need them guns.
Yeah.
I really,
but
I really identified with that scene, because I was like, if I were in that same position, I would probably do the same damn thing. Look at the cash, be like, fuck it, I need that shit.
Yeah, because saving your own life or your loved one's life is worth more than any money. Any amount of money you can get, whatever. And if you need that firearm,
I like this whole. Yeah, exactly. I like this whole old man style too. His little quips in the movie. You know what I mean? And then just his demeanor is like old man style. You know what I mean? He grew up like old man style. It's like, fuck.
I forgot to mention this. He's also Sergeant Holka in the 1981 classic movie Stripes with Bill Murray and Harold Ramis.
Oh shit!
He's their drill instructor.
Oh, okay.
That's when I saw Warren Oates was in this movie. I was like, wait a minute, I've seen his face, and I looked it up, and I was like, oh my god, he's Sergeant Holka. And I grew up watching Stripes. And, So it was nostalgic in that respect.
What? Yeah, I forgot what I was saying. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So your letter grade. So how about your letter grade? B or not B? Or C, D, or F? And then a rating. Your skull rating.
It is not a B movie. I don't think this is a B movie at all. Like, I mean, initially, I knew it was Peter Fonda. I kind of knew there wasn't a B movie, but, I just had never seen this movie or even heard of it until, like, I kind of did a little research, like, trying to find an occult movie that wasn't, and I thought it was cool because it wasn't totally, like, some weird, like, grotesque devil type movie, so.
All right. And then what about your skull rating?
I'm gonna give it a 3.25. 3 because, like, it was a pretty damn good production. The extra 2.5 for, like, the car chase scenes and such, but no more than that. Due to the cornball factor.
What about your backpack item?
That book of the occult, man. Just have so I can understand what the fuck is going on. I see some fucking weird ass runes. I don't know what the hell is going on. I want to research that shit. Definitely.
All right. And then, was there anybody in the film you thought that had a horrible performance? Anything stick out to you? Again, this is not a mandatory question. It's just something you might have noticed.
No.
Okay.
No, I mean, it seems like, all the main characters, like, were on in this movie, which is, and all the supporting cast, it was just like, hey, they're just doing what they do. So it's like,
and then would Louis like this movie?
he might like parts of it, but I don't think as a whole, I don't think he would like this movie.
Maybe we should start like putting down what Louis would rate it.
Which scene he likes or which scene he doesn't like.
Hey, it's funny when I saw Eric.
Yeah, right.
Saw each other at the barbecue or at the birthday party. We told him about the new category. He was kind of he was tickled about the whole thing. You could see it in his face.
Well, it's like, oh, really? There's a category about me?
Yeah, kind of cool. All right. Okay, that was we heard from Mr. Deeds. Let's move on over here.
This is Eric.
Eric. All right. In a movie. I always do that. That's weird. In a word. I think it's a little punchy by this time of the night. In a word, how would you describe the film Race with the Devil?
I guess satanic, but it's kind of lame and whatever. But that's all I could come up with. So so I'm gonna stick with it.
How about your favorite scene?
I would have to say the car roll, because that motherfucker rolled like 10 times, and whoever the stunt driver was really made his salt. I mean, he fucking earned his money that day. Is that? I mean, I've been in several auto accidents, but never flipped a car. And Jesus, I mean, it was violent. It was violent. So it came down to that, or the guy getting decapitated, on top of the Winnebago by the overpass. Sure. But I'm gonna go with the car roll.
Okay. How about your favorite character?
It was Frank. I mean, Warren Oates. Again, like I stated, I mean, he started in Holka from Stripes, and he held it down. He went in there and bought the shotgun because he knew they needed a firearm. And it really, if they had not had that, they would not have lasted as long as they did. Not even close.
They would have been dead.
Yeah, they would have been dead. Dead and buried.
Dead and buried, yeah.
Dead and buried.
So how about your letter rating, B or not to B, C, D, or F, and your skull rating?
I'm gonna give it. It's not a B movie. I mean, too many big actors. It made money. It was well filmed, well shot. All those things, factor into that. No, definitely not a B. And 3 on my skull. And it would have been lower had we not had the highway chase scene, in my opinion, because that was really well done.
That definitely helped the movie along for sure.
Yeah, and it made it way more exciting. I mean, it made that 10 to 15 minutes of them getting pursued and being chased and getting away and then not getting away and all those things really heightened the level of the movie and everything. So
yeah, definitely made a big difference for sure. How about your backpack item?
A pack of smokes. I mean, it was. What are you gonna do? I mean, they already
all that drinking and no smoke.
They had the booze and the food on the RV. I can't pick a new RV, so I'm going with a pack of smokes.
Well, that situation, I'd have a smoke for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
And was there anybody that stood out to you as not knowing they were in a film?
I believe there was when they went to eat steaks with the creepos, the neighbors from next door. When our the Hendersons, when our girl Kelly gets her premonition, and they cut to the guy playing the steel pedal guitar on stage from the band, and he's just staring at her. He looked dead in the eyes. Like, I don't know if that guy knew he was actually in a movie, or if he was actually on stage, or maybe he was on, I don't know what. But yeah, that's my guy. That's my guy. Because also at the same time, I don't think he knew how to play the steel pedal because he never moved he never moved his fingers and or the slide, to play the guitar. So it's like, but somebody actually playing would move around.
Got a point there.
Okay, and finally, would Louis like this movie?
I think he would again want to slit our throats for making him watch this movie. Yeah. I don't think he might like the car chase. I mean, the car chase scene. I don't know how anybody could not like that. But overall, I think he would hate it.
Let's move it on over. What's wrong with this song?
Kim, stay focused, baby. This is key.
Yes, stay focused. First of all, I need you to tell me, how would you describe the movie in a word?
In a word, unappealing.
I was going to say, if you said bland again, I was about to rip you a new asshole.
Hey, this is Kim's night for the hate, man. Bring it on, man.
I think this is the worst movie that in my worst movie that we've reviewed so far.
Ouch!
Travis said that.
Damn.
It was the beginning when they were racing the motorcycle, and I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be great, man. And yeah, at the beginning, and I was like, yes, like I'm into motorcycles and I'm into racing.
I mean, they were drifting those.
Yeah, that was sick, man. It was
they're riding hard.
Yeah, and I was like, yes.
I still would like to know, was that? I mean, I'm assuming that was really Peter Fonda riding that motorcycle, but I would guess. I mean, that takes some skill.
Yeah.
But it went downhill from there, though.
Well, let's wrap this up here. Let's see. What about your favorite character? What was your favorite character?
I want to say Satan, but he wasn't really in it. I guess just like his presence, like, oh yeah. So, and that's another thing too. It's like, yeah, we're racing with Satan, and he wasn't ever even in the movie.
Hey, but that's a good answer, though. That's a good answer.
Yeah.
So how about your letter rating and your
That was very good.
Oh my God, I'm gonna give this an F.
Damn. Fucking no bueno.
Yeah, Kim was like, worst movie ever.
Yeah,
No bueno.
It was bad, man.
That's funny. All right.
It was bad.
Hey, speak your mind, bro. Speak your mind.
Yeah, man.
Well, I have to ask you now. What's your
1.5?
You still gave it 1.5. Wow. I was expecting a 0.
Yeah.
That's my worst rating so far. So.
Do you have backpack item for the movie?
I want to say that shotgun.
Can't choose
I can't choose a weapon. Can I choose one of the motorcycles from the beginning?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with one of those bikes. That was nice.
And then, was there anyone in the movie that didn't know they were in a film? Anybody that?
Yeah, the wife that was just like, "What's going on?" And like, you shut up, She got him busted. She got him busted. They were like watching the murder.
Oh yeah.
And she got him busted, and they were like, "You just be quiet." Just be like, shut up! Like, what the?
And Kim, you can't make women be quiet. I mean, back in 1975 you could, but now it's 2025. You can't do the same thing.
Yeah.
And then would Louis like?
No, Louis would absolutely hate this film.
All right. Well, I think we can all say,
Yeah, I think we're all. I mean, we haven't heard from you, Danny, but I guess the three of us are all pretty much in agreement in our last, last question that Louis would hate this. Fanny Danny.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it. It was bland.
Oh, I thought about writing that just to dig at him. I was like, should I just say bland? Yeah.
It was.
Yeah,
It's very.
pretty dry.
My favorite scene is the
Yes.
showdown with the fucking snake in the RV.
Yeah,
Oh my
that
god.
was great.
I hated
What?
that scene.
Yeah,
They just kept dragging it on and on and on. I was like, dude.
It was like Snake Fight 2000s, like what the fuck, like
That
was
today at
yeah.
work on my headphones, and somebody walked up and started talking to me while that scene was going on in my headphones, and all I could hear was screaming and shit. Oh my god! Yeah, this is.
It was at first it was just like one snake, and then all of a sudden it was like more and more and more and more. Like, what were these snakes coming from?
Screaming the whole time, dude. It was.
Oh my god! Yeah.
My favorite character is the snake. The first one. I like the first one.
Oh, you like the first one. First one. Not to be confused with Snake number 2.
They probably give them names, but they did give them.
The one that jumps out with I call that snake stuffing because like the it jumps out and then in the background you see a box and it's not stuffing, it's stuffing.
For my letter writing, I'm gonna give this movie a C. Because it's definitely not so anything. I'm sure we discussed this, but basically anything below a B is considered to be not a B movie. It's just a matter of how bad it is. You get what I'm getting at? So I don't think this is a B movie, but it's definitely a C movie. It's like a paint by numbers kind of movie that, was not very risky, did not really, I don't know. This movie didn't work at all, man.
Hey, and that's your
I'm
opinion.
surprised they made that much
Your
money,
opinion,
man. What the fuck?
I get you.
They're in a
A high level of predictability and a lot of as the plot develops, it was just like, oh, I kind of think I know what's going to happen next. It's like the foreshadowing kind of leads to like you already having an inkling of what the fuck is going to happen next.
Yeah, there's just no soul to it. It's just
again, like you said earlier, it's they sold it with the big names, and then on top of that, they give it a big glitzy name. Race with the devil. So
yeah, and the devil's not even in it. Like,
yeah, you know what would have been awesome, like Danny, and you referenced like a motorcycle gang. If they had said devil on a motorcycle going down the road chasing them, that could have been that would have been something.
Red truck, and I'd have been like, there you go, okay,
right,
yeah. So my rating, I'm gonna give it 1 star. I mean, I did not.
Oh.
And my test pack item. I put a snake. What do we call it?
He's gonna be in the back. Danny's gonna be in the bathroom. Danny's gonna be in the bathroom of the Villa Grande.
With the porno man. With the porn man.
Not a hotel. All right. Snake Antivenom. Did not know they were in a movie. I think there were a lot of people that probably were not even aware they were being filmed. Quite honestly, I think I'd be willing to bet that. So I'm just going to put a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, like set.
You should have went with the neighbors
at the swimming pool when they're driving into said RV park. Yeah, they might have just drove in with a camera and been like, "To film these motherfuckers." Yeah.
The question is, does not know they're in the movie, and it's and I agree. I don't think he'd like this film. He might like the chase scenes, but I don't know. Um,
Yeah.
That chase scene, I mean, I must say, chase scenes, those chase scenes were good. I mean,
Yeah.
to flip those cars and I mean, and they were beating and banging like they were on a NASCAR track. I mean, those were impressive.
If they had shown boobs, then there would have been. There's two things that would have. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Like I said, or like I was saying earlier, we got cheated out of the boob scene because we watched it.
Well, fine. You know what? I'm going to track down. I think I have an unedited copy on a hard drive somewhere. I'm going to find it and see if it's. Maybe I'll post a screenshot. Yeah. Because we're not.
Yeah. Well, that would be appreciated. Yeah.
But okay. Well, that was the stats for 1975's Race with the Devil. All right, so we're gonna do Halloween themed horror movies for the 4 weeks in October. So each one of us gets a pick. And it was your pick, Eric. I sprung this on you about 48 hours ago. Hopefully you came up with something good. What do you got for us?
I did. In your love of musicals, I found a movie. 1986, Trick or Treat.
From 86?
Oh.
Trick or Treat.
86. Yeah, not the one that came out in the 2000s, whatever the fuck. So, and apparently Gene Simmons is in this movie. So it should make it pretty interesting.
So go ahead and check out that trailer.
Wake up, sleepyhead. It's body time!
Rock and roll will never die. At least not this Halloween.
I've heard of raising spirits from the dead by incantations, right?
Yes.
I did that by playing the record backwards.
You're kidding.
Sammy Kerr. He's a rock and roll nightmare.
I am a big fan of yours. I've got all your records. Shut up!
You're the bait. The bait is you.
This message is meant for me.
How can you listen to this stuff?
Shut it off! Shut it off!
What have you done to your stereo?
I wanted a new one.
Sammy Kerr. His fans won't let him die. He won't let them live.
You should be loyal to your hero. Make it turn on you.
Trick or treat.
Looks like we better check out the party punch.
All right, well, that was a trailer for Trick or Treat from, what is it, 1986? Okay. Yeah, Eric, you were saying that you think maybe the movie, the only Halloween relation is the fact that it's just the title of the movie is Trick or Treat. We'll find out. You never know.
Yeah, we will find out.
But either way, like I was saying, it fits the theme, so that works. That's awesome. Yeah, I might even when I make the artwork for the new episode for Halloween, I might put like pumpkins around it, some stuff.
Yeah. So festive. So festive.
Cool and cute. All right, well, that was the Heavy Door Horror Podcast for September 30th, 2025. That was Race with the Devil from 1975. Let's go ahead and let everybody say goodbye for the evening. Let's start with Eddie. Eddie, everything to say to the people before we say goodnight?
Yeah, keep watching horror films. Like, share, and subscribe. You know, if you're with us, you're with us. And if you're not, then we're not worried about you. Have a good night. Come join us next week.
Yes, sir. All right, Eric, you have anything to say to the people?
Yeah, check us out on Spotify, YouTube. Smash that like button and stay scary, my friends.
Yes, sir. All right, Kim, have you got anything to say to the people?
Yeah, thanks for joining us, everyone. Yeah, like everyone said, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment. You know, we always like to hear from people. Let us know what you're thinking.
Yeah, comment. Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. Again, Spotify, and it should be on iTunes. I don't know why it's not popping up, but we'll get there eventually. But it is on YouTube, and it is on Spotify. I do need to update that, and you'll see that soon. But yeah, next week we'll bring you Trick or Treat from 1986. My name is Heavy Door Dan, and always assume the call's coming from inside of the house. Have a good night.
The Heavy Door Horror Podcast.
Everything is garbage.
Fuck out of my face.
Don't act like you're not impressed.